The best investors in the world make a few decisions every year. And guess what they spend the rest of their time doing? Absolutely nothing. Speaking of the best investors in the world, Jim Rogers co founded the Quantum Fund with George Soros in the 1970s. They consistently returned over 35% annually, and they did it for many years. The key to their success was not chasing trends or using some high frequency trading algorithm. No, the key was being frighteningly patient. Here's what James and George knew about psychology that most investors do not. You see, our brain is wired to chase dopamine. It's that good feeling that we get from doing something, placing a trade, even learning something new, and it makes us feel like we're in control. Psychologists call this chase for dopamine the action bias, where we tend to do something over doing the right thing, even if doing no thing is the best option. Proverbs 19:2 says, "Desire without knowledge is not good. How much more will hasty feet miss the way?" Or even Marcus Aurelius when he said, "If it is not right, do not do it." The second psychological concept that we all suffer from is the illusion of control. We think that because we press a button or we call our broker or place a trade, that means that something has to happen. And the truth is, that's just not how it works. The best investors don't seek dopamine. They seek asymmetric return opportunities, which means that they're only looking for home runs and they're willing to sit back and wait for that perfect pitch. Jim Rogers refused to refer to himself as a trader because he only makes around 3 to 5 decisions every single year. In Jack Schwager's Market Wizards, he was quoted saying, "I wait until there's money lying in the corner." That's not laziness, it's hardcore discipline. Besides giving each other high fives and twiddling their thumbs while they waited for the next opportunity to come about, George Soros and James Rogers would always look the other way when mass hysteria set in. You see, another bias that is hardwired into our brains is called the herd behavior bias. People tend to mimic the decisions of a larger group, even when those actions go against our own analysis and our own data. This happens because we are evolved to stick to the group. In ancient times, going against the herd could mean, well, bye bye. We don't really know who said this, but someone in history said, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject." We don't know who said it. If you know, just let me know in the comments, please. We also suffer from what's called a recency bias or an availability heuristic, meaning that we tend to overweight the most recent and vivid information and throw all of the years of analysis and ancient wisdom right out the window when all the excitement starts to pick up. James Rogers said, "Just about every time you go against the panic, you will be right if you can stick it out." So, how can you apply this to your investment strategy moving forward? First things first, build a plan and stick to it. The worst time to come up with new ideas is when the sky is falling and the world is about to end. Secondly, don't try to control your emotions when things get hot. Take a moment, be aware of what it is exactly that you're feeling, and think it through with a pen and a piece of paper. You see, writing down the way that you feel can actually elevate and activate your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision making and reasoning. And it can even reduce activity in the amygdala, which is responsible for fear and anxiety. Lastly, just remember that there will always be another opportunity. So don't ever try to force your hand when you don't have all of the information that you need to be able to say, oh, I just wait for the money to be lying in the corner. So the next time things get exciting, and this year has been full of exciting moments, I want you to think to yourself about recency bias, and I want you to think about action bias. And remember that sometimes the best thing to do is no thing at all. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe. We're going to continue to talk about the psychology of investing, building better habits in your life, and looking at all of that through the lens of ancient wisdom. Other than that, I'll see you next time.